All right, so all of our featured stories here are D23 related, all Disney related, because that was this weekend. So
Where does that take place?
In
Florida, right?
Florida or Hollywood, one of the two.
Yeah.
One of the two places.
Wherever the parks are.
Yeah, I have a 50-50 shot of being right with whichever one I name.
We'll find out.
Yeah, Travis will be our resident fact checker on that one. So one of the first things released from D23 was the behind the scenes video featurette for The Last Jedi.
Which I
was
watched
really
also.
fucking cool.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
The featurette included some new footage behind the scenes of the set and interviews with the cast. So we'll start with Pedro. What did you guys think of the video?
I thought, listen, I love watching behind the scenes videos because it just gives, because, the fact, in the world that we love to live in, which is film, we also have worked on short films in the past. So, being able to see how these big productions are made and how these things appear on screen for us is really awesome to see. Because, knowing, how props are put together, how actors get ready for their roles and everything, it's great to see everything and, hear the interviews, the actors talk about their characters, what we should be expecting to see in these future films, especially with The Last Shot. And it brought a little bit of a tear to my eye when we saw Carrie Fisher, talk on screen and everything like that. So it was really cool to see that. And we are all looking forward to The Last Jedi. So I thought it was a great video.
All right, and I believe, Travis, you found the answer for where D23 is?
It is Anaheim, California.
Anaheim, California, the home of the Los Angeles Angels. Travis, since you spoke, we'll jump to you next.
Great.
Behind-the-scenes featurette. Did you love it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Honestly, anything that is Star Wars related that comes out, I'm going to love because, Star Wars.
Maybe not Han Solo. That's sort of in a mess here.
True, but I will say that I love behind the scenes featurettes. Every time I get a Blu-ray, I always make sure to watch the behind the scenes featurettes, just because the process of filmmaking is just so cool. It's just so much fun to watch people having fun doing this. And
quick side note, I just noticed you were wearing a Stranger Things shirt, and that is awesome.
it's like the best Stranger Things shirt of all
It's
time.
like amazing.
I love this shirt. It's probably my favorite shirt.
Yeah. So anyway, as you were saying.
But yeah, it was amazing. Honestly, the video was amazing. I hope for a full trailer very soon.
Yeah, maybe Comic-Con, they might drop a new one.
I'll bet you.
So that would make a lot of sense. And Maddie P. Savage.
I think that this trailer actually gave us not trailer, but more of a sneak peek, gave us a lot of information, really. It was seeing Finn being taken out of his chamber, just a little snap of it. And then you get to see Kylo Ren's fresh new scar.
Yeah, you also see, if you notice, there's a quick flash of it looks like Finn is in like an Imperial officer's uniform.
Yeah.
So it looks like he might do a sort of like go undercover type thing.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting as well.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For all of you, actually. What was your favorite scene in the new trailer? Your
The
favorite
featurette?
little feature, favorite like clip in the featurette.
Ooh, that's tough.
I would have to say the Carrie Fisher stuff for me.
Yeah.
I think
that's really heartfelt to see.
I definitely like the cameraman just getting splashed by red dirt.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I agree.
Even in slow motion too. I don't know. I still really like the shot of Rey running.
Yeah.
That you see in the first trailer, and I always find it fascinating to see specifically Star Wars behind the scenes stuff, because they still have the lightsabers, but they're just like sticks sort of. So it's really cool to see them in that form.
Yeah.
And then obviously when you have like I thought they were a little bit spread out, but you see the hangar explosion from the behind-the-scenes version of Up High, and then you see the same scene later, actually cinematically, with Oscar Isaac running, and then it starts to explode, which I think is really cool to see like that from both ends. So that'd probably be my favorite. But Matt, was there anything else specifically you wanted to say?
I definitely, I enjoyed Carrie Fisher. It pulled at the heartstrings a lot, honestly.
Yeah. I really like the Mark Hamill stuff. Like seeing Mark Hamill like really.
It's so cool to finally see him like back in like full version,
in full Luke Skywalker form. Like that's amazing.
Yeah,
me.
I also thought it was interesting. He was talking like behind the scenes a little bit. He was saying he wasn't enjoying where it was going in the writing, but now I think he's warming up to it a little bit more.
Yeah, because he was talking about, he's like, Ryan's taking a really new direction, which is cool. And we actually do have some Mark Hamill stuff here that we'll get into in a little bit more. But just moving on, Star Wars then released 6. I don't know if you saw them. I'll pull them up here, but they released 6 new character posters for the film that showcase the color red, such as the Star Wars title in The Last Jedi. So yeah, you get these really cool character posters of just sort of like the nose up of them. So I don't know. They're all wearing their just actual outfits, but they're all like colored red, which is really cool. You obviously get Rey in there, Kylo, Finn, Leia, Poe, and is that it, or did I miss someone? And Luke Skywalker,
yeah,
also the main character of Star Wars. The whole thing, Luke Skywalker is there. So yeah, it's really cool. Not too much to talk about. Just the artwork on these is amazing. I really like how it bleeds down at the bottom there.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Whoever came up with that idea is a genius.
Yes. So anyway, we'll move right on. Unless, Paige, do you want anything to add on the posters?
Other than the fact that they look really stylistically really well done, so.
Yeah. All right. So, The Last Jedi plot synopsis has been revealed at D23, and here it is. So it says, and there's a lot to talk about this. So the synopsis is: the Skywalker saga continues as the heroes of The Force Awakens join the galactic legends in an epic adventure that unlocks age-old mysteries of the Force and shocking revelations of the past. So I want to jump right into this here. Really want to break this down, probably more so than we need to, but it does say at the beginning, the Skywalker saga. Okay. So, does that point to Rey being a Skywalker? Because we know Luke wasn't in the last movie, and Rey is the main character of this new trilogy. Mm-hmm. So, do you think Skywalker saga sort of points to Rey also being a part of that?
I hope that she doesn't end. When Force Awakens ended, I was like, okay, yeah, she has to be Luke's daughter. But after a while and thinking about some theories and reading some theories online, I was like, you know what? I would be more happy if she ended up being a descendant from Obi-Wan Kenobi more than being Luke Skywalker's daughter. But I wouldn't be mad if she ended up being Luke Skywalker's daughter. So if it does come to being that, which from what it sounds like, it is. Clear in point, it sounds like the Skywalker saga, it's like, maybe it's because the Skywalker saga continues. Fine, it's like now it's continuing because The Last Jedi is here with Luke Skywalker. I don't know. It's weird to think in a way how it could, which direction they could be going, but I don't know. That's my point on that's my take on it.
Great, Pedro, you cut me off. Anyway, so I think that it could point to her being a Skywalker, or it could point to the end of the Skywalker story, being that Leia is going to die and Luke is going to die in this movie. So it is the end of the Skywalker story.
We still have a bet going on, Matt, about if Luke dies. I'm on the side that he does not. They are both on the side that he does. There's a lot of shit on the line in this bet.
I would say, is there any money on the line?
There's no money.
Luke and Leia.
It's worse.
It's worse. Both Luke and Leia are going to die in this movie, and it's going. The last one's going to be about the new characters.
Leia's not going to die.
She's going to die in this movie.
No, it's one of those Paul Walker things.
She said that she's in 9.
No. They said she won't be in 9. But she's not.
They confirmed it.
No. They confirmed she won't be in 9.
All right. Shout out to Brian.
S/O.
So, yeah, she won't be in 9. But she's not gonna die in this one. Just I think it would be in poor taste. It's like Paul Walker. They'll find another way to.
I don't think it would be in poor taste, especially if they make her go out like the hero that she's supposed to be, the general that she's supposed to be. She's gonna go out protecting her people.
Yeah,
and that would be amazing.
That would be really the only good way to do it. But again, if they didn't shoot that scene, they already said they're not going to CGI her in the movie.
Well, no, they could just on-screen death her.
Yeah, but they're saying, but they already said they're not going to she already shot all of their scenes and they're going to keep them as is.
Yeah.
So they're not really going to kill her off screen. She's way too important of a character. Just really getting back to the Skywalker saga, pointing to Rey being a Skywalker. Matt, do you have any specific thoughts on? Would you want her to be a Skywalker?
Honestly, there's so many theories going around that my head spins. I just want to see it already. I don't have an opinion anymore. Mm-hmm. I do want her to be a Kenobi, but that's about it.
Yeah.
If you did watch the Clone Wars series, you know that Obi-Wan did have a relationship with Duchess Satine in the past, who was the ruler of Mandalore. And I was like, oh, maybe he went back and had a relationship with her. I have no clue.
And did the dirty.
I didn't say that. This is Star Wars. But that's what I hope. Maybe she's born again from midichlorians. I have no clue.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's my favorite one is reincarnation of Anakin Skywalker.
And that is going to segue us right into the next point of this synopsis, which is age-old mysteries of the Force. And that is one of the theories floating around, is that she's a literal reincarnation of Anakin Skywalker through the Force. So, and in the synopsis, age-old mysteries of the Force, there's also that Force tree rumor going around, because it was sort of shown in one of the comics that are canon. Now, like a tree of the Force, of like where it began, and there is like a tree on set of The Last Jedi. So, age-old mysteries of the Force, obviously you have the books there. There's going to be a lot of interesting stuff, and it's really cool that they're really delving. I actually don't know if it's cool or not. I really don't want to say it's cool, because like on one hand they're delving into sort of the mystery surrounding the Force, but on like the opposite hand, the Force is always so interesting just because it's this mystic thing.
Yeah.
And in the prequels, when they sort of put the midichlorians in there, it sort of took away from the actual Force.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree with that, or?
I mean, it's like you said. I mean, I'm pretty much gonna echo what you said. It's pretty cool to get some answers, but not cool at the same time. You know, because being the cool part is like, oh, so that's how it's all about. But I kind of didn't want to know that, because it just takes away the coolness from the Force, I guess. You know, that would be the best way I would say it. And the whole reincarnation thing, that for me in my mind is just like, you know, I feel like a reincarnation thing would have to happen like 100 years and later, not just like, oh, he died. Maybe 30 years later he'll come back as a reincarnated version of something. That just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know,
but technically in the like how reincarnation is, it's immediately after death you're into something else, so it could be definitely possible.
Yeah, like
How old is Rey in this movie?
not old enough. She would have had to die as like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And then be reincarnated again.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
I think she's 18. She's something close to Luke, basically, in
Yeah.
The New Hope. But what I was thinking about the tree, and in the EU there are Force nexuses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you ever...
EU's not canon.
I know, I'm just talking about...
But they still pull
They
from
pull
it.
stuff from the...
I
Like
understand
how
that.
Thrawn,
I
they pulled
understand
Thrawn into Rebels.
I understand that.
But yeah, there's Abadal, who was a person that held the daughter and the son
Yeah.
and the father together. And
I thought it was Abeloth.
Or Abeloth, yes,
Yeah.
I apologize. And she drank from the light side and the dark side nexuses and became this creature. So it's definitely possible that
The
they're...
most powerful creature in the
Yeah,
universe.
she was like impossible to deal with.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker had a lot of
So it's
trouble
definitely possible they've been bringing Force nexuses back into canon again with this tree. That's just my idea of it.
Yeah. Travis, specific thoughts?
I would love if they just kept it like very mystic. Like,
Yeah.
They kept it a kind of a mysticism type thing. If it is a reincarnation,
Which they did sort of go back on midichlorians a little bit.
Yeah, a little
in,
bit.
I think it was one of the Aftermath novels, because they sort of say that, oh yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn
Was a
believed
crazy-
this theory of that this is what happened. So it's not
Yeah.
actually, they sort of just made it back as like,
To be fair,
yeah,
Qui-Gon
Qui-Gon's,
Jinn
like,
was
the only
insane.
one. Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn was actually insane. Like the Jedi Order actually like annexed him because he was insane.
Yeah.
Like that's not like a legitimate thing that happened. Anyway, reincarnation is an interesting theory, because if it is reincarnation, I think that they would take it in the direction of the Force is continually trying to correct the mistake of the Sith or the dark side of the Force, which is them like that would mean that not only is Anakin a reincarnation, that would mean that there would have to be reincarnations before that failed, and Anakin is another one that failed.
Which don't forget that there was we talked about in our I think it was our Star Wars Theory podcast, or it was on an episode when we did Carillion Committee. I'm not sure which one, but we did talk about a theory going around that Rey is a reincarnation not of Anakin but of one of the first ever Force users. That there were two people that discovered the Force, and one went to the light side, one went to the dark side, and that she was the reincarnation of the light side one, which could mean that maybe Kylo is the reincarnation of the dark side one. There's just really a lot of directions they can go with this.
EU-wise, that's not really how that happened. But okay.
I know, but we're not talking about EU, you know?
Yeah, but they pull from the EU. So.
They do pull from the EU, but just because it was in the EU doesn't mean it's going to be exactly
Right,
like
Zach.
that. They could go a different direction.
Right.
Exactly. So, just moving on, it also says... shocking revelations of the past, you know, like Rey being a Skywalker.
God.
Ray is gonna be a Skywalker. Let's all agree on that right now.
It is one of those things where, to me, it's the case of the easiest answer also being the right answer.
Right.
Like, I think it is well accepted. More like there's so many theories.
Well, Disney has always said that it is a Skywalker story.
Yeah,
So,
but there are so many theories, but the most widely accepted one is that she is a Skywalker, and I feel that just because most people are expecting it, it doesn't mean it's bad.
right.
You know, you don't need.
It's not a bad thing,
You
yeah.
don't need like a Darth Vader level twist in here.
Right.
You know, like I feel like even if they're like, yeah, I'm your dad, I'd be like, well, I expected it, but it's still really cool.
Yeah.
And it continues the Skywalker story.
Yeah, it's not about the surprise. It's more about the presentation of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
And I feel like story-wise, it would be really good. I mean, other than that, what do you think they could be referring to with shocking revelations from the past?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Yeah, it could really be any number of things. I feel like it definitely has to do with Rey one way or another, whether she's a Skywalker or Kenobi.
Snoke is Plagueis.
They could.
No,
yeah.
Snoke is Mace Windu.
No, Snoke is not Mace Windu.
All right, let's get off that.
Oh my god.
Let's. And if you're joining back, Travis is no longer with us on the podcast.
Snoke is Mace Windu confirmed.
Snoke is Mace Windu.
All right, no,
true.
he's not.
Don't you
anyway,
guys like have a bet going on with that thing?
Not
Not
that
with
Snoke
that,
is
no.
Mace Windu. The bet is that Snoke or Mace Windu will not show up in another Star Wars movie by like the year like
okay.
2020 or something like that.
Yeah.
He just won't show up, and Travis thinks that he will.
Oh yeah, Mace Windu's gonna show up. He's gonna show up as an old man.
No, he's not. He's
He is.
dead.
No,
He is dead.
He's not dead.
No one in the history of cinema
George
has
Lucas
been
confirmed
more
it.
Yes.
Dead. George Lucas doesn't confirm shit. George Lucas confirmed midichlorians. They went back on that. Okay.
All right, let's continue on.
Anyway, just gonna round up the rest of the news from Star Wars at a D23 here. Mark Hamill told Access Hollywood that unexpected is good in a Star Wars movie, and that they had to find another way to throw a curveball and keep audiences on the edge of their seat. Which is really cool because one of the main criticisms for The Force Awakens was how similar it was to A New Hope. So it's
Yeah.
really cool that it's sort of treading their own path, and it's not just going to be like Empire remade, you know, which is awesome as Empire was. It's really cool that they're going.
That's
their own
actually
direction.
something I wanted to talk about is how different this movie feels to other Star Wars.
And that's what
movies.
they said in the featurette as
Yeah.
well. They're like, yeah, because it's it. Like I think Daisy Ridley said it. She's like, it's part of the second chapter in this trilogy, but it feels like its own thing at
Yeah.
the same time.
And that's amazing to me because I always feel like Star Wars is a really great platform for people to go out and make their own thing. Like I think Star Wars as a universe and as like a creative platform is amazing. It has there's so much you could do with
There
it.
have been many nights where you and I have just looked up tons of Star Wars fan films, just to
Yeah,
watch
fan
other
films,
people,
theories,
interpreting.
anything, like
Yeah,
just to see their own vision, like, and it's really cool to see what other people think the universe is.
exactly.
So I'm really excited to see what Ryan Johnson's vision of this universe is.
Yeah, and I really like Ryan Johnson. He did Brick, and then he did Looper, which I really love. Looper.
I totally enjoy.
So yeah,
And then Colin Trevorrow for 9.
yeah, which I wasn't excited for up until like the Book of Henry came out. So now I'm a little bit like wary, but I do trust him. I do because
Yeah.
I like.
Well, that's
I
like
really
when,
like Safety Guaranteed in Jurassic World.
That's
so.
like when George Miller did Mad Max and then he did Happy Feet for some reason.
Yeah. Then he's like, I'm doing Mad Max, and I'm like, oh boy. And then it came out. I'm like, this is like the greatest movie ever.
Yeah, so
Matt, what are your thoughts on sort of how The Force Awakens is reminiscent of A New Hope, and how they said that unexpected is good? Mark Hamill said it, and so they want to like tread their own path.
I definitely agree with everything about Force Awakens being very close to New Hope. It was a definite rehash, but it was a good rehash.
Because it paid homage to it as
Yeah.
well.
I do like that Mark Hamill is finally warming up to the new series again, and I am excited how they're gonna go along this path.
Pedro, anything to add?
No, yeah, when pretty much echoing what you guys said. When I left for the first time, leaving the theater after seeing Force Awakens, I was like, yeah, dude, that felt very reminiscent of A New Hope. So, I mean, I'm glad to hear that they're trying to do new things with The Last Jedi, because I'm pretty sure that they kind of regret trying to, doing the same old thing with Force
I think
Awakens.
unanimously the four of us, we all love Force Awakens, though, right?
yeah.
Oh,
I
no,
actually
oh
really
my
did
God,
enjoy
yeah.
Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, I was losing it in the theaters. Oh,
Oh
my
yeah.
God.
Oh, my number one theater experience of all time was
Oh,
Force
yeah.
Awakens.
I agree.
My number one theater experience of all time, just to take a quick sidebar here was the Avengers.
Yeah, mine's also the Avengers.
It was amazing.
the first one. Yeah, I'd probably put Force Awakens behind that, and then I'd probably go like Fast and Furious 6.
Really?
Because Pedro and I were in that theater, and that was awesome.
I can't
Conjuring
imagine.
was also really
Yeah,
good.
Conjuring was also really
I
good
didn't see the
theater
first
experience.
Conjuring.
You need to do that.
I know.
But yeah, moving on, Disney CEO Bob Iger or Iger?
I think
It's
it's
Iger.
Iger. Yeah.
Iger. It's Bob. We'll call him Bob. So,
Bobby.
so good old Bob. He's seen The Last Jedi and said it was Mark Hamill's best performance as Luke Skywalker to date. Now, a couple things here, like the phrase "to date." So this could point to him not dying in the movie, which is my main theory.
Let's go.
All right, it's my main theory. They're not going to do Episode 9 with none of the original trilogy members. They're just not going to do it. So
If they have balls, they will.
no, they won't. They're not
You're
going to
right,
do it.
Pedro.
They're not going to do it. They're going to have at least Luke in Episode 9 to round out that story. He might die in 9. I won't bet against that, but he's not dying in 8. But this also, just with what he said, his best performance is Luke Skywalker. This echoes what I think J.J. Abrams said, because he's still a producer. It echoes what he said a few months ago when he said that a lot of people like who made The Last Jedi will be legitimately upset if Mark Hamill does not get an Oscar nomination. And he's like,
Wow.
especially Mark. So this really just echoes that, which it sounds like he's just going to be absolutely amazing in the movie, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, how long has it been since he's actually acted?
Well, he was in Kingsman.
He was in Kingsman.
Yeah, not
But
a
not,
big role.
not much.
Yeah,
though. Like,
he's mostly been voice acting, specifically the Joker, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
yeah, he's
Amazing.
absolutely
I mean, that's
phenomenal.
keeping him in shape acting wise. That's a tough thing to do.
Oh my god, just the vocal range he has, like with that laugh. Oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm obviously really excited. I think we all are to see Luke Skywalker back on screen, like full action. So yeah, now for something that we should all probably do in 2019. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the official name of the Disney Interactive Star Wars theme park in California that is going to span 14 acres,
my God.
which will include a new Star Wars themed hotel. The park will be opening in 2019, so we're all going.
Right.
Right.
Obviously. We have to. We
We're
have to
all
stay in the
going.
Star Wars hotel.
Yeah, we're gonna stay in the Star Wars hotel. Let's all just start
also,
planning that
did you,
now.
Did you hear
Yeah, for real.
about what they're planning on doing with it, like as far as like the story?
I was reading into it. I didn't want to put all that in here, but I do know, since we can discuss here. I know you're interacting with a lot of the characters from Star Wars throughout your entire time at the park, which is really cool.
Oh my God.
I also know they have a ride that puts you like right in the middle of a battle between the Resistance and the First Order. Which is really cool. Like, imagine, like, Soren at Epcot, but just, like, in the middle of a battle.
Did you hear about the reputation system?
No.
So apparently they're
Like I said, I only looked into it a little bit.
they're supposed to be implementing a reputation system where your actions in the park directly play on how
my
everyone
God,
views
that's
you.
awesome.
So like,
That's amazing.
so like the actors, like if you can actually choose to help the First Order, or you can choose to help the Resistance,
I'm
and
helping
depending
First
on your
Order.
actions, you can like enter in certain like, you can enter certain buildings and stuff.
That's amazing. I'm going to live here. I'm just going to move in.
All right, take a
This is
poll.
only a
Who's-
rumor, but
who's
this is what I
joining which
heard.
side when 2019
First
happens?
Order.
First Order.
Yeah, just for fun. I
would
might have
love
to go
be a
Resistance
Jedi, but I know
the
if I
first
want to
time.
live, I have to be.
The first time I go,
Order.
I'm doing Resistance. The second time I go, I'll do First Order.
I'm doing First Order every time.
Yeah, we're all evil. We're all picking the side.
Do I get my own personal Daisy Ridley?
I don't think
Maybe,
that.
maybe a BB-8.
Yeah.
Let's start off slow
Dude, how
here,
cool
Pedro.
would it be if you could buy just rent
Daisy Ridley?
no, if you could rent like an astromech droid, like a remote control one.
Oh my god. This is like literally the coolest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. I am so excited to do this.
That's what I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but that's what I heard is that there's supposed to be like some kind of really cool reputation system.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And when I heard that, I'm like, that is the coolest idea
that's
I've ever
game
heard.
changing. That's game changing.
Yeah.
This park is always going to be so busy. It's never going to
Oh
be. It's
my
like
God,
the
yeah.
busiest theme
We
park
better
ever.
start reserving now.
Yeah, let's get those tickets. We'll book the hotel.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for Star Wars at a D23.
I had something else I want to talk about Star Wars related, but I cannot remember it now, so we'll just continue.
Well, in the middle of us talking about Avengers Infinity War, I'm sure Travis will be like, "Oh,
I'll think of it. I promise.
we'll add a little bit of Star Wars in at some point here, probably.